Just stay here for 1 hour, I think, and I'm going to do the refactoring of the poker software tool, which I'm not very excited to do because it's gonna be annoying. There's so much stuff here, and I have to probably gonna have to change everything or a lot of stuff, so it's gonna be difficult, I think. Not difficult, but it's just really annoying to remember everything that I did and then to just change the stuff so that it works. I think I'm gonna open this on the right here. And what I have to do is just pass all these variables here, I think, as parameters to the function. So I'm gonna have to refactor everything. And I'm gonna have to see if this function here, I think that is gonna work. Like in other languages, I would have to pass as a reference, I think, to this function so that I'm changing the original object. But I think in Python it works if I just pass to this function the same parameters and then it's gonna work. But the annoying part is that I'm gonna have to change one by one. Did I put the timer? Yes. I think I'm gonna put some music for myself. The other thing. So I was gonna change the formula, not the formula, the calculation for, I think I realized the mistake that I was having for calculating the amount is because I was using the previous action as a percentage and not the actual value. So it calculates the wrong amount because of that. So I was gonna change that first, but then it's better if I change everything else first. Because I'm gonna have to change the way that I'm passing actions anyway to the function, so. And I also realized that I'm overcomplicating this because I don't have to calculate the correct ranges in the beginning when I'm constructing the tree. I can just initialize everything either to 0 or 1, I'm gonna see. But probably 0, so every range that is not the first range for the preflop is gonna be 0, all the frequencies. And then I update them. I create another algorithm to update them based on the data. And then on that algorithm, I can figure out how to get the correct, updating the correct way based on the calculation. So that makes it easier, I think, to make this function work. Yeah, so here, I think I have to pass I have to append the action, converted action in the first. Let me get the calculation. That I'm doing. Yeah, so this is the calculation to get the amounts. Then I just go back to the other function. And now I'm gonna have to change this one. And I think I was avoiding doing this way or pass everything as a parameter because there's gonna be a shit ton of parameters, so it gets confusing. It's already really confusing because trying to keep track of all the lines and then all the conversions and everything that has to happen. So I'm gonna try to change to delete these ones. And also, I think I don't need these ones because the reason why I was getting these ones, maybe I do need them for the calculation. But I think I'm gonna try to do it without because I'm already storing on the previous actions the logic that is necessary to see if it's a raise or a re-raise to calculate the correct value of the amount. And then I was gonna use these ones because of the cumulative value for the bets, but I think I can delete them and I can just get the highest value from the flop or turn actions. So I'm gonna try to do it like this first. Then if I need it, then I'm gonna change. And this thing here, I'm not really sure though, like how I'm gonna do it. I think I have to pass as well because it's the same problem of the global variables, because when it's backtracking, it's gonna fuck up everything if I don't pass as an argument. So I think I'm gonna have to pass the current turn on thing. So the way that I'm gonna do is just add this stuff here, and then I'm gonna see delete from here, and then see all the places that I need to change. Yeah, so this is all the stuff that I need, I think. And then I delete everything from here. And now I have to figure out every place that I need to change this so that it works. I think the beginning, I changed the first time that I called this function. I think I'm gonna close this. There's a lot of code here. Really crazy. Yeah, so here, it puts the stuff that I need here. I was thinking about getting, I think I'm gonna do this maybe tomorrow to analyze the lead code problem with the visualization tool. I was doing this thing here, the in-order traversal, because I want to understand how it works. Like, I think I get it after thinking about it for a while, but it's still confusing. So I think it would be interesting to visualize this, but I'm not sure if I did the correct way here to simulate the test of the problem. And I'm not going to spend a bunch of time trying to figure out, so if I didn't, if I can't figure out how to simulate the problem, I'm probably not going to do it, but... So current nodes, current node ID, current action, current player, streets, no. Flop actions is going to be this, turn actions, this. And then for each thing, then I, instead of appending for the thing, I append for these ones. Previous actions equals. And now is the thing. I think I can just put it like this. And then copy this stuff here. And then I delete. The issue is the pots as well. I forgot about this. So I'm gonna have to pass the pot as well. Yeah, now I'm not sure, because if I make it equal to self.pot, I think I'm gonna... But I think it's fine to make like the variable equal to self.pot in the first one. Because as long as I pass as an argument, it's gonna change the one that is here. And then it doesn't matter that it is changing the global one as well, because it's just a reference to the global one. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it like this. So here, let me put the pot. I think I'm gonna put after the streets. Previous actions, current turn. current river. Yeah, now I have to think about all of the other ones. I think this one is correct, probably. So I'm getting the first amount, the pot, after I add the first amount. So actually, oh no, it's correct. So here it should be just first amount here. And now I have to rethink the whole logic that I did there. This is the part that is going to be annoying because it's really confusing. Is this function calls the... And this is the other function outside. I think I'll change here first. Change this one first. I have to change this one because this... I have to think about what kind of stuff I'm gonna need on this one. So the first thing that I'm gonna have to change is this current turn and river. Oh, that's the problem though. I have to put the logic inside of this one for the turn and the river. I remember that was really confusing. I think I need to leave like this. His turn is river. True indicates, and then I just pass inside of the function instead. And let me put previous actions. I think I have on the Control V here. I think I'm just gonna put all of the stuff. Current node ID. It would be better if I put the same name, but then it's gonna complain about shadow name. Run player. Streets. Bots. Okay, I have to pass everything that the other function needs. No. Flop actions, turn actions, previous actions. And I think I need to pass both current turn and current river as well. Yeah, but that's... I guess, yeah. Because these variables here are used to indicate if I should loop through all possible turns and all possible rivers. And I remember that to get the turns I need, to get the rivers I need a turn. Because I need to remove the current turn from the all possible turns to get all possible rivers. So this is the part that is confusing, and it can be wrong here, I think. Turn current river, so. And now I replace everything that has south here. And then after I change this one, then I can change the other one because it's just gonna complain that it's missing some arguments, so. It's gonna be easier to change. Yeah, so here just remove the south. Effective stack is a problem as well. Oh, but actually the effective stack, it doesn't matter because it's always going to be the same. So because it can be a global variable because it doesn't matter what part of the tree. the thing is that it's always going to be the same value, so doesn't matter. The thing that was really confusing when I was running this, I remember, is this shell node player. Because it's confusing to think about which player it is, like what kind of thing I should pass into the previous actions. I remember that really being really confusing to figure out. So here should be pots. Yeah, here is the thing that I'm gonna change, where I'm just gonna put action range. So is that a lot easier to do it? So just initialize everything as 0. And child node player is gonna be the player that it is on the child, and then the current player is the one for the current action, I think. But it's weird because on the other function, I'm appending the action first to the previous actions. So the current player would be the previous player. That makes sense. Because by the time the function is executing, the first player already made the action. So I think that's why it's confusing. Like the names that I chose here. Maybe I should change to previous player and current player. And I think this stuff I just remove for now. And this is the problem, is that... But I guess I could just pass. Because I'm gonna change the way that I call this stuff, I can just pass here, instead of making it equal. So I think it works. Let me just go back to the other, get all the arguments that I need. I'm gonna copy this on a notepad so I have them in the correct format so I don't have to keep doing this every time. I think the most confusing part is figuring out how to append everything. And this is the thing. That's one of the things that is confusing as well, because I have to pass the possible action, I think. Like I have to pass the percentage, because this is the percentage, and then the converted action is the amount. But in order to calculate the next one, I need to pass as a percentage, because otherwise... But maybe not. Because I'm always using this one. So maybe I should pass converted action instead of passing the possible action. And then I should change here to this. I think I'm gonna pass as this. I don't remember really well, but I remember like I was confused about this as well at some point. So I guess I will see when gets time to run. Oh, street, I think I passed the wrong one. No, straight flop. So here I should be appending some points as well. Yeah, so I guess I didn't put the logic here. Maybe zone outside. I think I didn't get to this part where... Yeah, I think I didn't get to this point. Let me think. But I think I should be adding here the logic. So I pass if street equals flop. Probably right after this thing here. Oh, but that's the problem, is because I only convert if the action is not a string. Oh no, but here I'm converting as well, so yeah, it doesn't matter. And now the pots, let me think. I think the pot was changing on this function though. Yeah, that's the problem. So I guess I just update based on the converted amount instead of updating here. Oh, but I need to pass. So I'm gonna need to pass the pots to this function as well. Now I'll go back and then And that's the thing. Is if I put pot equals, I'm not sure if it's gonna change. I think it's gonna change the one that I'm passing. Oh, actually, I have to do it here. Because if it's a string, then obviously I don't need to change the pot. So only if it's a bat or a raise. And now let's think about this. Oh, this I have to change as well. And this is the part that I'm not sure, because the thing why it's confusing is that I think this is correct because I'm looping over the next potential actions from the current node. So the previous ones have to be the current one, but then this is the issue. I think that might be incorrect because the first time that I'm passing this, the previous action will already be there. And I need it to be there because of the calculation here. So this is the issue. Because if I append this, then I'm appending twice, I think. Because the current player is going to be actually the previous player. Because the current action being analyzed in the hand is the one that was already done. That's the problem. The problem is that I need this one. So I think maybe this should be child node player and then converted action. But then it's weird because then I'm appending the future one, the one that's gonna be analyzed now. And I think that makes more sense because the next one is gonna be the current one in the next iteration. It's like in the first iteration they already did an action, and then like this is the response. So when it gets to this point, it's gonna have the current action for the current action is gonna be the past action. And that's why it's confusing, I think. So the future action, let's say, which is the one that I'm doing here with the possible actions, is actually going to be the past one for the next iteration. So I think I should append that, but then, and then the child. But I think I got an error from that when I changed child node player. And then converted action. But I'm not sure if this is correct. But this is the problem on this one, I think. That's why I think I did it this way, because it needs to be a global thing, I think. Maybe I can just... Yeah, but I can't deep copy think I'm creating the turns as I initialize the class, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So maybe it's not a problem because like the turns and rivers are not gonna change because this class is created based on the flop. So it doesn't matter that I do like this. Yeah, I think that it doesn't matter. I can do it like this. Then I just remove the current turn. This is the other thing that is confusing. Is the I think I shouldn't do like this. I should do the converted amount here maybe. Because it's the whole thing about the node IDs or converted action string. This is gonna be the action range. Each node has a dictionary of action ranges, which is the all possible actions that the keys are the possible actions and the values are the range for that action. So how frequently the action was taken for each hand. But then, like, it's hard to think about the format here. I think it should be the format of the string probably. So it should be converted action string for the value instead of the possible action, because the possible action is just a percentage. And then these parts of delete. And then here I have to change. And this is previous actions. It's challenging because there's so many things that can be wrong here. And now this is the problem. How I'm gonna know what is the turn. And I guess I'm passing to this function, the current turn, so just pass. And then on the other one I pass through variables. Like 4 variables actually. The flag variables should indicate if it's a turn or a river, if it is the transition of the street. The current decision is gonna make it so that the streets change based on the logic. And I thought about, like, there's certain situations where I think it's, if in position players is a C, the action is a C, because regardless of whether it's a call or a check, it's gonna change the street. In the auto position, I think there's also another heuristic that I spent some time thinking about. But then based on those heuristics, on the other function, I can determine that it's going to go from one street to the other. And then based on that, I pass the flag variables to indicate that it's transitioning. And this is the thing here, should be converted action again. Maybe I shouldn't pass current river to this one. Let me think. Yeah, because whenever is the river is gonna have there, based on the global one, which one is the current one? So I think I don't need to pass the current river. The current turn I need to pass, so I have the... So I have the turn when is the river. I hope this will work. Or maybe for this one I need to pass current river. Because I can't do... Yeah, so this is when there isn't a river. But I think I need to pass, because on these ones I'm not gonna have. Because I'm looping there. And I don't remember why, but I have to repeat this stuff here. I think it's because of the logic for the flag variables. Because this condition is whenever is not the turn or the river, so when is the flop. But I don't remember really well why I did things like this. Oh, I think I did it like this so I can decide. Yeah, so I can pass the streets. That's why. Oh, but it doesn't make sense. Because it's only gonna hit this if it is not the river or the turn. And I think it was some weird thing with the flag variables that I realized that I have to do like this. But I think I can delete these conditions here. You can just leave this one. Because if he hits this endpoint, it's gonna be the flop. Because here is gonna be the river, because both of these are true. And here is gonna be the turn, because only the turn is true. So whenever it hits this is the flop. I think I'm just gonna delete all of this stuff. Then puts here. Oh, maybe it's because maybe I did it like that. It's because it's only gonna be. Yeah, I think that's the thing. Maybe I need to put the way that it was before, because I'm only gonna pass this as true when it's converting from the. It's converting the street. Yeah, I think I need to do it the other way. So the reason why it's like this is because when it's changing from the flop to the turn, then I'm gonna pass the flag variables here. And it's gonna hit this condition to start the loop. But then when it is in, like an action from the turn, I'm not gonna pass the flag variables, because then it will loop again. That's the problem. And that's not what I want. I only want to loop when I'm converting. So start the loop when I'm converting from one street to the other. So here I need to check again to see if it is the turn or the river. Oh, but this is flawed because then it hits the other condition. Yeah. I didn't think about that. I guess I'm just confused because there are so many other things I was thinking about at the time. So I have to think about a way to figure this out. Like when there's an action from the turn. I think because now I'm passing the current turn and current river, I can just do the way that I was doing there. Because I'm gonna pass the thing anyway, so if the river is empty, so I guess I'm gonna pass the river as an argument to the function. So if current river is empty or current turn is empty, it doesn't matter. Because it doesn't change the logic. So I think I can erase this now, and I just pass the current turn, current river to this function. So that way I can pass these variables only when it's transitioning, and then when it's not, I just call the function normally. And if it is an empty string, it doesn't matter, because it doesn't change the logic, I think. For this function here. So this can be either flop, turn, or river, but it doesn't matter. Oh, what's wrong here? Looks like I'm missing something. Current node idea. Street, spot, flop actions. And so now I think that I changed everything, but probably when I run it's gonna have a lot of mistakes and I'm gonna have to figure out everything. Like I have to think more. I'm gonna think more about it to see if I can put all the logic only in one function. The reason why I created this other function here is because I didn't want to repeat all this logic for the other nodes. To loop for the next actions each time, because then the other function will get massive. If I have to do this for each node on each possible path on the original function. But I think it might be better to do it like that, because it's more like understandable what's going on. I think this makes it more confusing, I think. Because this function calls this one, which calls the other one. And then also through the recursion might have some potential mistakes that can happen there. Or not mistakes, but maybe even if it works, it's not that efficient when it comes to memory, because you're doing all these extra function calls. So it might be better to just leave one big ass function. But the downside with that is obviously that I have to repeat them. Every time there's a different node, then I'm gonna have to repeat this loop here with different actions. And it would get really big, I think, the function. So maybe there's another alternative that I'm not thinking about. And now I have to change the other one based on the arguments that I pass here, or this one. And obviously I'm not sure if I missed anything here. But on this one, looks like I refactor everything the correct way. And now it's gonna be annoying. Because I'm gonna have to change on all of them. But I think most of them is just gonna be passing the same variables. Oh, that's the thing. Let me think. I guess I'm getting the current turning river through the loop there. When it's looping, it's gonna pass as an argument, and when it's not, it's gonna pass as empty string. So I think it works. And the other ones I don't pass because yeah, I'm passing here. This is the one that I'm gonna have to change. I guess here I just return. I don't need to remove anything because it's gonna be the correct way because I'm passing everything as an argument. So I just return and add the node ID to the all possible nodes. Here is the flop. I think I'm gonna do the rest of this off stream. Yeah, it's almost over. It's not that interesting as well. So I'm gonna stop here when I finish doing this. It's probably gonna have a lot of mistakes, so I'm gonna run this and think about the things to change. I'm probably gonna continue to do this tomorrow, but I might do this one here as well, which is visualizing the in-order traversal from LeetCode. Try to understand better how the recursion works here. So either gonna do this one or I'm gonna continue to do this, try to fix any mistakes that I might get. And then once I'm able to construct the tree, then I think about how to update the tree based on the actions and then create the simulation. So I'm probably gonna continue to do this tomorrow, so see you then.